Watch verse 22. I say to you, it shall be more tolerable for Tyre and Sidon at the day of judgment than for you. Look at verse 23. You Capernaum, this is the headquarters of Jesus' ministry, just by the side of Sea of Galilee. You Capernaum, you are exalted to heaven, you shall be brought down to hell. Are you seeing? What kind of message is this? For if the mighty work, you see the miracles again, which has been done in day, has been done in Sodom, it will have remained to this day. So this Sodom and Gomorrah that was destroyed would not have been destroyed if they were given the opportunity. The people of Capernaum and Galilee were given to see dead people raised, cripples, blind eyes. They would have believed in God. So now watch verse 24. Now 24. And I say to you, is warning the people of Capernaum, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom in the day of judgment than for you. So there are cities of destruction. An example is Sodom, Gomorrah. But some of them, the way you locate them is former centers of revival that have now become centers of Babylon the Great. Former centers of powerful move of God, but you go there now, they are the ones promoting all the atrocities, sexual perversions, and all types of evil. They are the ones hardened against the gospel. Now God sends me to such places to preach. I preach. You won't find me carry my family and be living there. If I want to move to US, I know the kind of cities I'll be living in there. There are cities of refuge there. If I want to move to Canada, I know the kind of places I'll be living. You have to be careful. Let me give you an example. 3 times in prophecy, the Bible warned that all the nations around the river Euphrates will be blood-shedding centers. River Euphrates is passed through Turkey. For example, I told you a time is coming when they will kill 1/3 of people on earth. One third of 8 billion people, and by then the population will have increased, maybe 9 billion. 1/3 of that. Do you know what that means? And the Bible said most of the cities that will be hit, and some of them were called by name. I don't want to, like Turkey was mentioned by name. I'm sorry. There are some nations mentioned by name. I don't want to call them. Many of them are in North African countries. Yes, Brother Mike. Mentioned by name, including Libya and the rest of them, by name in prophecy. Then there were some other nations on the other end. That place, it said 1/3 of people will be wiped out. Watch. There are 4 angels, fallen angels, that were bound in that river Euphrates. A time is coming, they will be released, and their own is to start war, 3rd World War, and 1/3 of people on earth will die. Why will I carry my family because of economic? Because so country is paying better than Nigerian medical. As a doctor, I just carry my family. Your money is the only thing. Dollar is the only thing you're considering. You're not considering whether you will come out alive. All that money they are paying you, and that when it starts, you and the money and your family is gone. So what is the profit then? People are packing up their families and driving them to go and live in. There are some things, if we are not on the broadcast, I'll get direct and say some things. Let me give you another example. All the nations around the Mediterranean Sea, on both sides. This side is the eastern part, dealing with the Middle East. This other side is Europe. Like Greece, like Italy, like Spain. They are going to be epicenter of this global event. This is where the implementation of these marks will be first, and a lot of believers will pay for it. A lot of believers, thank God, they will make heaven. I saw those souls in heaven, but there will be cities of refuge that will not be touched. My goal is not to frighten anybody, and it's just that there are things we need to, you see, there are strategies. The prophecy gave at least 24, escape and survival strategies. And one of them is relocation. Lord, take your wife and you shall relocate out of this place. That time when the war came there and they almost died, and Abraham went and rescued them, is where he should have relocated. After that war, he carried everything and went back to the same place. Lest you perish in the iniquity of this city. Jesus said to the early church, escape to the mountain, escape to other. There are cities of refuge. One day when we are not doing this on camera, there are some information I'll give you.
When you're persecuted in one city,
flee. Is that not what he said?
Yeah.
Please put it up. When you are persecuted in one city, flee to the next. Migration is part of the strategy. It didn't say stay there and die. For example, Lot, you start declare 40 days fasting and prayer. Sodom shall not burn. Sodom, you can't stop prophecy. You can take advantage of it too. Can you imagine Noah declaring 40 days fasting and prayer? The flood will not come. Flood will not. When the strategy is build an ark. Build an ark was a strategy, or you will die with these people. You leave it and say, okay, we are fasting against it. You cannot stop prophecy with your fasting. The issue is to gain the foresight and then understand the strategy for. And there are some things I will show you about economy and some other things in these last days. There are believers that are going to be soaring high because they understand what is going on. They know what Israel ought to do. This is how far we can go because our time is up. But look at it. Okay, look at this one about persecution. When they persecute you in this city, what?
Flee to another.
Do you see? Did he say stay there, let them behead you? For verily I say unto you, you shall not have gone round over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man come.
Can I show an example of this?
You want to show an example? Go ahead, sir.
Acts chapter 8, verse 1. We'll see persecution. So Matthew 10 says, when they persecute you, here's what you do.
Acts 8:1.
Acts 8:1 says.
Acts 8 verse 1.
There you go. So this is the stoning of Stephen. Paul is there consenting to his death. And then it says, a great persecution against the church at Jerusalem started. They were scattered abroad throughout the regions of Judea, Samaria, all except the apostles. Do you know the church was somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 people by the time this happened? And they were all scattered everywhere.
Everybody escaped. They escaped to Judea, some to Samaria.
Yeah.
Actually, if you start reading down, they went as far as Antioch.
Right. And then look at verse 4. Acts 8 verse 4. Look at what they did. They were scattered abroad and went everywhere doing what?
Preaching the word.
Preaching the word. So if you don't feel comfortable preaching the gospel, learn that, figure that out, talk to people, practice, because that's going to be part of your persecution, running, fleeing strategy.
Brethren in Europe, the season is coming. You will see the sign. Economic changes were finished. It's hard to even access money. Some new policies are now in place, and even travel restrictions are beginning to come because of some new pandemics and some other things. And then people will have to either take some form of whatever to be able to access funds, to be able to transact. Don't wait till borders are locked or till whatever. At the right time, I will give further directions. Let's leave it here. Heavenly Father, thank you for your word that has come today.